Hey guys, welcome to our first vocabulary talk. This goes with our story of the week, Pumpkin's Story. Let me hide that out of the way. All right, the first word that you need to know is foal. And look at this tiny baby foal. This is a miniature Shetland pony, okay? And that pony is small anyway, so you can imagine how small the foal is. The next one is smitten. And smitten is when you have a crush on somebody. So the opposite of smitten will be like you strongly dislike someone, you despise them, you hate them. And then when I think of smitten, I look up here at this girl and she's like in love. She's got hard eyes. She's got those droopy eyes, all that stuff. So she has got a crush. She is smitten. When I think of coarse, I think of a cat's tongue because I feel that texture and it's rough. So it's a texture, it's how something feels or looks. It can also be a personality trait, a character trait. You can have like a rough personality. You can be a little rough around the edges. But I thought this was a wonderful picture to show, and you can see all the flakes and the chunks in the coarse ground coffee. And then here's the medium. There's still chunks here, but it looks like it's more powdery, doesn't it? And then here you see the size is smaller. You can see that it's been ground a little bit more. There's still a little bit of chunks in there, but not as much. It's much more smooth. Okay, so you can definitely tell the difference between coarse and fine from that picture. A sanctuary is a place of safety or a place to get away. A synonym for sanctuary would be refuge. So, a sanctuary, this is what you call a sanctuary, and I want to describe it as like the place where you sit and listen. And that's what they call this part of a church. The place where you sit and listen is the sanctuary, it's a place of safety. And here is an elephant sanctuary. I think this picture is from Brazil. And a lot of people will visit sanctuaries just to admire the animals in their safe place. And the bird sanctuary over here, that is a place where birds are protected and kept safe. So in our book, Pumpkin is going to be at a sanctuary where she can be safe and a place to get away. Winced is something that you can't control. Your body does it on its own, and it does it when you're scared of something, or you might smell something bad, or something grosses you out. So, or you're afraid. So it's a shrinking or startled movement or gesture. So notice her fists are closed. One of her eyes closed. Her teeth are bared. She's like wincing in anticipation of that shot. I know I've been there before. Another word is crouched. And I think Spider-Man is the perfect example of this because his knees are bent and his upper body is lower to the ground. I think of crouched like when I crouch down to pick something up on the ground, like I'm looking for my keys. Or you might crouch down if you're playing with chalk outside. Internationally is when something is known among all the nations. So I have a picture here for you that represents lots and lots of different countries. We can't see them all because they're cut off, but it means it's known across the world. Okay? Temporary. We have temporary tattoos on this picture where you put them on, they last for a little bit, and then you can wipe them off or they'll peel off by themselves, right? See the word temporary here, BFF, temporary tattoos. I actually need to get some of these for my treasure chest in the classroom. That would be nice. But anyway, temporary means it doesn't last for a long time. It lasts for a little bit of time. Is the opposite or the antonym of permanent. We see this gentleman over here. He's got tattoos across his arms and his chest. And we see that throughout his life, they were permanent on his body. And this is him again with those same tattoos across his chest and his arms. And they have lasted. They do not wipe away. They are permanent. Grazing. I didn't add any words on this one because I think in this case, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And our schema or our background knowledge, we know this because we see this a lot because we're from Marion County, Kentucky. We see cows or horses grazing in fields. So we're going to see them in a green field. Their heads are going to be lowered to the ground. And what are they doing, guys? They are eating the grass. They are grazing. And they just kind of wander around aimlessly eating grass all day. They are grazing. Concerned is when you are worried. So if you are worried about something, if you want to use a stronger word for worried, because as third graders from Miss Brockman's class, you are expected to use strong words. Concerned is a better word for worried. Nonprofit. To understand what nonprofit is, you have to understand what profit is. And profit is when you make money. So if I have a lemonade stand, whatever money I have left over is my profit. So whatever money I've made after I've bought all my supplies, that's my profit. So I said it's an adjective that describes a business effort where they did not make any money or profit. So think about a charity, okay? People donate and people work really hard for charities, but they do not make money. And if they do make money, it's going to funnel down back into the business, back into that. Bleak means cold and miserable, and this artwork portrays that perfectly. You can see it looks dark, it looks miserable. If I had to walk through this, if I was a person in this picture walking through, I would feel kind of miserable, maybe even a little scared. Everything looks bleak in this picture. And in the story, it's going to say it like it means no hope. It's going to say the outlook was bleak, and that just means they felt cold or miserable or sad. All right, stay tuned for chapters 1 and 2 of our book where we use all of these words that you just learned.